da 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 da
You guys
Star
are just as
Trek.
good as those one dudes.
Yeah, what was that weird?
Pentatonics?
Pentatonics.
Did
you
do
see
one?
that they did like a all audio thing and they had an orchestra back them up? It was
Star
like some
Wars.
American.
The orchestra backed them up.
Yeah.
But all they were doing was go da 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 da.
And then one guy had a ridiculously high solo.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it was
bet
so
that
high.
meme video got 2 billion views.
Oh, did it have text on it though?
Probably. Star
Not
Wars,
enough.
it's hot. You may have seen it on GameSpot.com or anywhere else on the internet. We've got 3 Star Wars experts here: Rob, the woodsman handlery, Josh Layers Shaw, and Andy NASA Bauman.
That's
Gentlemen, you
stars.
excited?
Yeah.
For what? Battlefront?
For the movie, not
course.
not Battlefront. Who's
course.
still playing Battlefront?
Playing a little bit of it.
Yeah? Kind of wears off, right?
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah? We knew that going in.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna wait for the DLC, but I enjoyed Battlefront a lot. I mean, it's a Star Wars game. It's the best sounding and looking Star Wars game. I feel like out.
Is it out right now?
Out.
Okay.
At currently.
Is it
Yeah,
the
that
best
just
Star
came out.
Wars
It's got
game?
like the most graphics, I'll give you that.
Most
Yeah.
graphics?
It's got
1080.
It's got plenty of graphics.
It's got lots of frames per second. It's a lot of graphics.
Yeah.
But is it the best Star Wars game?
No.
No, I don't, definitely not.
Not by a long shot.
Then let's go down through it. Andy Bauman,
Yeah,
first
that,
of all.
that title belongs to the classic Rebel Assault and Rebel Assault 2.
Oh, really?
A nice little FMV-driven game on the PC back in the day.
Not expecting this to be the first one.
we did not talk about
I'm just kidding. Well, if you're going off like, you know, at the time, these graphics were insane because it was video. You
Yeah.
can get better
Actual
than video,
video,
right?
Yeah.
But did people think
Battlefront
about
still
that?
hasn't topped that.
Battlefront hasn't topped that.
Let's go back as
photorealistic.
far as we can then. Let's think
Oh,
about
okay.
well, okay.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah, let's get into when the really good ones start coming.
That's got to be...
1992 and 93. X-Wing,
Okay,
TIE Fighter.
so X-Wing, TIE Fighter, then X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. That whole series was just incredible because what it gave you was a simulation experience of a TIE Fighter pilot and an X-Wing pilot. You do the shields, you link your blasters, you do your power, your engines, you freaking fly around and shoot dudes. Like,
And
not
it's
even
still
the flying
Star Wars
in
stuff.
Battlefront is as good as this. Like, this is the best flying.
So like you'd
in a
compare
space,
them.
like not
this
even
is
for
a
a Star Wars
simulation.
game,
For a space game.
sim.
It's one of the
still
best,
so
like,
good.
Space simulator flying games ever.
And you see, this HUD maybe makes no sense, but like you have your shields there on the bottom left. You can decide if you want
like
full
Wing
front,
Commander.
full back. You can link your lasers there. You can see in the targeting reticle, they're linked fire, so all 4 fire at once. Or you can do succession fire. You have torpedoes. You can do these epic dogfights where you're chasing down.
Yeah. Like fighting in 3D
so
is
good.
really hard to do right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Especially
did it
back
pretty
then.
well. Yeah.
And
definitely.
back then when it was on 11 floppy disks, like this was
Actually,
really freaking
And let's speak to
great
that
game.
with the next games, right? Because these games were definitely like, they felt like they were ahead of their time when they came out. And when Dark Forces came out in the mid-90s, that also felt like, oh wow, wait, this is like a first-person Star Wars game where I feel like I'm shooting stormtroopers, I'm walking around these environments. And obviously this series ended up, you had Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, which then spawned the sort of later Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast sort of stuff. But yeah, these old games. Any of you guys play these ones?
Oh, I played the crap out of these games because when my dad went to the software store, the guy was like, "You want to buy this? It's like Doom,
Really?
but better."
so dumb.
Because it is like it's the same style, but like you shoot stormtroopers with the blaster guns, like from the movies. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like how, as a kid, you played this and you were like instantly drawn into this so much, and like. There's so many nods to the movies. There's thermal detonators. There's crazy swamp monsters you have to fight. They're really hard. There's like every stormtrooper, every Imperial, and there's like Mon Mothma you're like working for. Like there's
they're
so much good stuff in these games,
Whoa.
and they're really hard as well.
Yes,
Like
not easy.
it's no joke, and they were so much more varied than Doom at the time. Like Doom was like, go here, push the exit, you're done. These like had missions and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
well, like back then, 3 years in, first-person design was like a lifetime.
Yeah.
This was like 1995, and then I think it was 99 when Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight came out, and then we had a resurgence with the KOTOR Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy games,
And those are incredible, too.
Which it's even hard to remember that they were sort of rebirths of those old ones because
Yeah.
those games were so brilliant on their own right, like third-person LAN
party Jedi battles.
Jedi fights.
Dude,
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? Like when they
I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and I used to love that shit.
when they introduced the lightsaber into those games, you were like, "How's this gonna work?" Oh my god, they nailed it! Like it's
Right
perfect.
click and you throw it at
Yeah,
someone.
like you have all the
Sick.
powers. You push, you throw it. You like in Battlefront when you become
Yeah.
the
Luke,
hero,
Vader,
whatever.
whatever.
And you're like Luke, and you push attack, and you have no control. Like you're just lunging forward with your lightsaber. These you had like epic control. You jump, you do flips, you like nail stuff, you throw it, and you have duels with other. Like it was so fucking good. Like like at a LAN party, there was nothing better than doing things. And like someone would fire a rocket, and you're just like force push it back, and I'm like, nope.
Really?
Like the fact that this stuff was in those games back then was like incredible. And now in Battlefront, you play as Luke and Vader, and you just feel dumb.
Like
you feel so dumb.
It's like just two toys. Like,
Josh, when you think about good Star Wars games, what do you think of?
Well, there's Shadow of the Empire, right? That's what it's called. I always forget the name. The N64 one, though.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, like, the morning I got the N64, me and my dad, like, spent hours trying to figure out how to beat the first level.
really?
To take out the
AT-AT.
AT-AT, because I didn't know about the tow cable, because it was the first time I ever held an N64 controller and everything.
You're like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, what is
C
this?
buttons.
Wait, I don't hold. Which handles do I use?
Which part goes in my mouth?
No, wait.
This
Wait, we
game-
were actually saying that.
Well, that's what,
Yeah, it
actually
does.
no. Legitimately, that's what we were saying. Is that this game had the most bizarre cheat code
Oh, really?
ever created,
I had
and
no
my
idea about
parents
this.
thought I was mentally ill when I was doing it, because what you had to do was hold down every single button on the 64 controller.
For how long?
You had to hold it all down,
In an order, right? You had to like do it press them in an order.
I don't remember
That
that.
sounds like some the urban myth.
Yeah,
start
maybe
coming
that was
in
the-
there.
Yeah, no,
Well,
but whoever did it was like, let's just make people look as dumb as possible. And then you had to basically move the stick halfway to the left, halfway to the right, halfway to the left, halfway to the right, like 4 times. So at this point, you're like, either your brother had to do it, which was what I made my brother do. He
can we have
wasn't
a
allowed to play.
We
He
have
was
a
just allowed to-
demonstration here.
Yeah, so, or I would do this. Or I would take the controller and I would put it in my mouth and use my lip as a halfway guard and do this. And do this 4 or 5 times. And someone would come in the room and be like, what the hell are you doing?
Are you filleting that again?
Like, I want to be a Wampa! Which was what, so
was that
you
what
could
you
do that.
was?
A Wampa, is the guy that beats up Luke in Empire Strikes Back. It's a big, like, furry white bear.
Cool.
You could be as him, you could spawn them, or just play as one, but the whole thing was, then in the end you could play as Millennium Falcon, TIE Fighter, you get all these cool things. But that was like the
game
weirdest.
was
That's what was so sick about that game is there were so many modes. Like it starts out flying a ship,
Yeah.
and then
It's
it
like
goes first-person shooter,
Right.
and then it goes. There's like turret modes when you're riding in a ship, the Outrider.
Yeah.
Like good variety.
Yeah.
Speaking of
so
Nintendo
many.
consoles, did any of you guys play the Star Wars or Super Star Wars games on the NES?
No, I didn't have an
SNES?
NES.
No,
A lot of
I
people, I'm
didn't
sure,
have
are
an
like, going to
SNES.
talk about that as well. Let us know in the comments. If
had
you're a
an
big fan of
NES.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, it just came out on PS4. So
all those- the whole
I had
package.
time to catch
The
up. I
whole
only
package,
played it
yeah.
at a friend's house,
Cool.
but that game was rad too.
Can you buy those separately from
believe you
Battlefront?
For Battlefront?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure.
Oh, did it just come out
Oh,
on
it's
their
separate.
own?
Separate. It was like
it's like its own thing.
It's like 4 games or something like that. It's a package. I'm
Cool.
not sure how much. I think it's like $10. I don't know.
Anyone here played Republic Commando?
No,
God
I
damn
was
it,
a
that game
PC
was
snob
fun.
back then.
That was on PC.
I don't know if it was.
It
or else
was.
I,
I
would've played
definitely
it.
played
All
it on
right.
PC.
All right.
This was the first person. Like it was basically like Halo ODST.
Oh, yeah.
But with
Boba Fett or something?
with
Stormtroopers?
I guess they're not really stormtroopers. They're like Republic Command. So they're kind of like the next
Elite.
layer, right? It was like a 4-player. Oh Jesus! Here's a video I made years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Power
a
up, baby.
4-player like you and 3
game.
other like people. Yeah, what the fuck that was about? Here we are. Yeah, you and 3 other
so you're like
Republic
clones?
Commandos, and
Tight. Is this-
and the coolest thing was if you killed somebody up front, you get blood on your visor, and it would fucking clean like a laser would just go
no.
and clean the fucking blood off your front of your face.
This is like
Okay,
Clone
so
Wars,
this
or
is
Separatist
Clone
era.
Wars.
Whoa.
You see some.
You just like
Yeah,
stab
whoa.
that dude.
Yeah, you can just stab.
Oh,
dudes
hey,
as
what's
well,
up?
yeah. You can stab your own guys.
This looks like Danny
This is
O'Dwyer
like
gameplay.
new
That is definitely Danny
Look
O'Dwyer.
at this guy.
They're
Things going on,
cheering.
guys. Yeah, this is good. I don't usually
Lord.
play the game killing every single stormtrooper in it, but yeah. See, look, watch with the
yeah,
blood.
yeah.
That is cool
Also,
and
there was red blood.
extremely distracting.
Yes. That game was all right.
Cool.
And I guess one of the biggest PC games you want to talk about, Star Wars PC games, though, Knights of the Old Republic. Andy, you played a bunch of that?
Oh, well, that was like the best game I played. Like, I'm sure if I go back to it now, I'll see through a lot of it. But back then, dude,
Yeah,
not only
that
was it this sprawling RPG with like amazing decisions,
Yeah.
a great plot twist,
Yeah.
but it was like the precursor to Mass Effect because you're traveling the
Right.
galaxy on this ship. You have companions, basically. You're talking to all of them, doing quests for them. going to all these different locations, doing like quests on those locations. Like it was so epic, and it was all in. It was like Star Wars, right? It was totally Star Wars. You had a lightsaber. The combat system was like a little bit weird because it was like straight up RPG. You had to like queue up stuff and
queue up moves,
but it was cool. But yeah, it was like basically Mass Effect before they decided to just make their own universe.
And this was set like
it was like in some. It was like before the trilogy.
Super before any of the like Star Wars stuff, right? So you kind of felt like you could, you know.
Greg Kasdan liked it too.
It wasn't like you're rubbing shoulders with fucking, you know, film actors and knowing that you couldn't have that much effect over the world. Like you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
That's another big thing that turned me off about Battlefront is like you have all the main heroes doing it. Well, like Shadow of the Empire, you were like Han Solo's friend, who's basically his twin, but like you're like Dash Rendar with your own smuggler ship and your own Chewbacca.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually just skimmed through Shadows of the Empire because I forgot like what was actually the story about, and it's so cool how it's funny how they just like took just plot elements, you know what I mean, of the movies, and then just kind of filled in the gap. Like,
oh really?
And then there's this Dash Rendar guy who just, you know, he's hanging out with Luke and Leia, like he's part of the gang.
Am I right in saying now that literally every game we've talked about today has been stripped out of the Star Wars lore?
Yes. Well, I mean everything has.
Yeah.
Once like Disney bought them, the only things that remain canon are like all the movies and those kids' cartoon series.
Wait, even the Lucas's...
The prequels are canon.
Prequels? They're canon?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So it's those 6 movies, and then like everything they make now. So any new book or any new comic or any new
Clone
game.
Wars, the show, or with Rebels.
So KOTOR doesn't exist in Star Wars anymore?
Oh, that's depressing.
Or the Republic Commandos don't wipe blood off their faces?
They did something kind of cute where they call them legends. So now it's almost like in the universe, it's kind of like a little bit of like maybe they're stories people tell each other or something rather than actual history.
The stories, are they true?
Remember how KOTOR basically like legitimized going light and dark side because it was RPG? You choose like like Paragon Renegade people kind of hated because they were like, there's no gray area. But it's like in that one it was like dark side, light side.
All right,
and it totally made sense.
I think I know your answer then. Let's go through everyone. What's your favorite Star Wars game ever made?
Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault? No way.
No. Knights of the Republic.
1 or 2?
I never played 2.
It came out like a year later.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Yeah.
And I just heard the ending was god awful and everything was terrible.
All right, KOTOR 1.
But I guess it was okay.
Josh Shaw.
Rogue Squadron on GameCube.
Oh, so
Okay.
good.
Oh, really?
GameCube.
So good.
Yeah, I like because you have the B-wing in that one, and there's like this like shield that would come down to highlight enemy ships. I don't know, it just felt like you were really like in control of one of those things. Had all your own little buttons and stuff.
God, the best thing, I just want a GameCube so I can just put a disc in. Remember how good that felt?
They're
That
this
little
big.
one.
Little guy.
Little
This
one,
tiny little
Fat
disc,
little hole in the middle, you just go, done. It was like mini discs, felt good.
and it had a handle. You could just pick it
Yeah,
up.
you pick it up.
Take
Couldn't
it to
play
your friend.
DVDs on it.
Portable.
Remember, because like the whole reason to get a PS2 is it was also a DVD player.
You couldn't fit a DVD in it. It was like the size of a DVD.
Rob Handlery, favorite Star Wars video game?
Rogue Squadron 64.
Okay.
And it's
thought
funny,
about
you were
this.
mentioning like TIE Fighter and X-Wing and all those.
Yeah.
Like, and where I think this movie is getting me really excited was because I did read a bunch of books growing up, but that game worked me so well as a kid and made me so excited because it was like X-Wings and ships in atmospheric landscapes.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Right, yeah.
So when you see the trailer for the first time and it's an X-Wing booking across the water, causing the water to steam up and ripple, it's like, you know, you just get Rogue Squadron vibes. And
Rogue
it's like,
Squadron
oh yeah.
is so cool.
But
Wedge
that game-
Antilles.
Yeah,
that game
you
was
had
so
Wedge
cool.
Antilles, and
Wedge
you had like
Antilles
these
guiding
kind of,
you through,
Yeah, you had these like background characters that were so sick. Like, and there was Luke's co-pilot, like Dak, right?
Oh yeah.
Dak.
Before he died in the Battle of Hoth and stuff. All these like really cool, all the Rogue
Yeah.
Squadron characters.
What's the
Yeah.
one game nobody mentioned?
We probably missed a fuckload. Pod Racer.
Pod Racer.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Pod Racer. 'Cause
working.
I really like for how much
This is pod racing.
like
Let's
how
try and roll.
disappointed we are of that movie. Like that game was awesome.
That game
Fucking
was so good.
oh,
I can
so
do the
good.
Boost impression. Sound
Do it.
Can you do Sebulba's engines though?
No, that game. 100%.
I can do the
I beat that game
sand
100%.
people. All right.
I also love how no one ever mentioned any of the numerous film tie-in games that came out for
Yeah.
that series, which almost ubiquitously sucked. I'm sure there was like
Oh,
one or two
yeah.
good ones in
That's
there.
the problem.
Man,
with
they-
those,
I worked in retail when they brought out like some of the ones for like the prequels, and they were on every platform. Like there was like 7 different versions.
Dude.
It all sucked.
What about like Disney Infinity?
It's not a Star Wars game.
No.
Disney Infinity 3.0?
Yeah.
I mean,
count?
it's like Jack Skellington's in your Star Wars game. Then maybe.
It's like those, I don't know, I didn't watch those kid shows, but it's kind of cool if you had a kid, be like, here, play
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff, but
Yeah, stop
it's
bugging
not
the kid.
really for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to get your kid Star Wars toys that aren't like super nice Lego sets that I'm keeping.
I like it. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on and talking all about Star Wars. That film's coming out pretty soon. That Game Done
God.
came out last week. So to keep up in touch with all of your hot Star Wars video game and film news, stay tuned to GameSpot.com. Let us know in the comments what your favorite Star Wars video game is and why we are wrong.